Ciao guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, she's online now. I'm about to have a video call with Irene Pinilla. We're going to have a sports nutrition talk and I'm really excited, a little bit nervous, and I really hope to bring something interesting for you guys up there. So let's go.
But we train like athletes. The breakfast would be a good time to have those fats. As a nutritionist, I have to say I don't like the diet of two people maybe completely different, but completely valid. I like to say it as much as Alicia Alonso did.
So here we are connected with Irene Pinilla from Madrid. We're going to have a sports nutrition talk, as I introduced you earlier. And I am really excited. Ciao, Irene.
Hola.
Hola. Thank you so much to be here. Well, we were colleagues in the Sempre Upper Ballet. We met in the season of 2016 and 17. And why don't you introduce yourself first?
Of course, yeah. So first of all, sorry for my English. It's been around 8 years since I don't practice. So
that's a great opportunity.
Yeah. So my name is Irene. Right now I'm 27 years old. And then I started dancing ballet at around 11. But before that, I danced flamenco, typical dance here in Spain, and also rhythm gymnastics. Then at the age of 13, I think, I was accepted in the Royal Conservatory of Dance Marianna here in Madrid. So I started that professional career that year. And I graduated in 2016, the year we met, because that year I didn't audition many times because I felt not prepared. But I was lucky that in the Paluca summer intensive here there in Dresden,
yes.
They offer a student scholarship or at the Semperoper company an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
So I was chosen for that
and
apprenticeship.
You worked with us for the whole season. Like I remember we did Balanchine Symphony in C. And it was a fun season.
Yeah, because it was an apprenticeship program, but I danced a lot. I danced everything, not the contemporary parts, but Swan Lake, Don Quixote, Nutcracker, and all that Balanchine stuff you say. Yeah, I danced a lot.
And then you decided to...
Yeah, because that year in the company was very good in many ways. I danced a lot and really met really good people like you. But on the other hand, I felt like I didn't quite fit in that lifestyle, or it wasn't worth it for me. So that's why I started, I decided to return to Spain with my family, and I decided to study a degree. And I hadn't studied for 2 years, so I wanted to start something I could apply to myself. So that's why I chose nutrition. And I studied in CEU San Pablo University here in Madrid. And I finished the degree in 2020, COVID season.
A lot of online studying.
And then I specialized in sport nutrition.
So how many years is that? From 2017 then?
Yeah, it's a 4-year degree.
Okay. In Italy is a little bit different for nutrition, but very exciting. And now, well, I know that because we've been talking that you didn't leave dance behind. It's still a big part of your life. So you have this nutritionist consultant side of you, but also you are like a ballet teacher, correct?
Yeah. After taking almost 2 years off from dancing, because I needed to rest a bit, while I also was working as a nutritionist in a consulting office, I started working as a dance teacher for little girls who are studying dance privately. So right now, I'm a dance teacher 4 days a week, and in the mornings and once a week, I have my nutrition consultations, and also I teach Pilates
You
class.
never stop.
Yeah,
Just because there are no more days in the week, otherwise you would
yeah,
do more things.
of course.
Cool.
I
Just
think that's a dancer thing. We have something.
yeah,
We need to keep
keep
doing
moving,
things
keep
all the
doing,
time.
keep growing
Yeah.
also, keep growing. Just before we start with the questions, also for whoever is watching, I want to say that this talk is not medical advice. It's just a nice chat that I wanted to have with
Mhm.
Irene because of her background and what she studied. And it's meant to be informative, fun, entertaining. But if you want specific medical advice, you should ask a nutritionist or book a session with Irene Pinilla. I can leave like in the description below all the details. So I guess we can start it after this
Yeah.
nice background of yours.
Mhm.
People know where you come from and who you are. So first question that I prepare because I prepare for this.
Mhm.
What's one thing that when you first started studying nutritionist, you thought like, wow, I wish I knew this when I was a dancer? Is there, I'm sure there are
Yeah.
many things, but if you could just mention one.
I think the most important thing is I wish I had known all I know now, just to have had enough energy all week to be able to finish that long training season alive. Yeah, of course, to be healthy and maintain my vitamin and nutrients levels.
So energy. So to have
Yeah, healthy
energy.
muscles,
Yeah.
be strong, be able to recover myself before that activity. I think that's the most important. Of
Okay.
course, I didn't have any major injuries during my career,
Yeah.
but with a good nutrition, they can be prevented. Or
Yeah.
so
We're going to get to
I will
that.
have like, yeah,
Yeah.
for my mates who were injured, it would have been
For your
very, yeah.
colleagues, it would have been very
Mm-hmm.
helpful. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's start from the morning breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I have many colleagues that don't have breakfast, and I don't know how they do that. I
Mm-hmm.
guess the body gets used to it, but they don't eat from dinner until lunch, so they have a good 15-hour break.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, like, what happens to the body, and is it okay to do sports, let's say 3 hour, because we have class in the morning and usually like 2 hours rehearsal, so around 3 hours, 3 hours and a half of workout.
Mm-hmm.
Does something happen to the body, or is it okay to have a long fasting?
Yeah, it's difficult because it depends on the person. If you make a full dinner or a full day before that, that not a breakfast day, maybe you may be able to skip breakfast because you have all that energy from the day before.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't have that full dinner or full day in the morning, your brain will have consumed all your energy because while you're sleeping, your brain is working,
Oh, wow.
and it will take all your energy. So in the morning, your muscle will have known. So yeah, if you have that full dinner with carbs, your brain will be able to work on night, and your muscle will be prepared the morning.
Yeah.
That if you not, wow,
Yeah. Good luck.
maybe you will have, yeah, maybe you will have the energy because you have had a coffee or your tea, so you are like full energy, but your muscles,
They're not ready to
no,
go and
they're
to
not.
build on it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So the diet of two people may be completely different, but completely valid. If you want to have breakfast, it will be okay. If you don't have breakfast, of course, if you have a full dinner, that's the nutritionist work.
Yeah.
No, so
Yeah.
my thing is to adapt for everybody.
Because one diet doesn't fit all, doesn't fit
Oh, yeah,
everyone. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So it is possible. I
Mm-hmm.
guess my body got used to like really having breakfast, and for me breakfast is a way to start the day as well.
Yeah,
So
mine too. So
yeah, yeah.
it depends, of course, if you wake up early. So
Exactly.
you could have a full breakfast, but if not, maybe you could have a little things that will bring you the energy you need. So it doesn't have to be that breakfast with toast, with fruit, with it could be something,
Yeah.
some little things but
Yeah,
enough
that gives
for
you,
the
yeah,
energy.
but it's very personal. Okay,
Mm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
And if so, after class, we usually have 10 minutes break or during rehearsal. For a 10-minute break,
Mm-hmm.
what are good ideas for snacks?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you could give like three or two sweet or
Yeah, of
savory
course.
ideas.
Yes, because there are exceptions, of course, but an athlete's fuel is glucose.
Yeah.
So we are dancers, okay? It
Yeah.
is an art, but we train like athletes. We need
Like, yeah.
glucose. So in a short break, we need something easy to digest, of course, because we don't wanna go to the next rehearsal with our belly full.
Yeah, feeling heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we need what is called a high glycemic index food, a food rich in carbs, in sugars, of course, we good sugars,
The Twix
not
bar or
cookies
the,
or
yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So of course we can take fats and proteins during a longer break, but in that short time is the same thing I told you with people who don't like breakfast, a full breakfast. So it could be the same, a high glycemic food.
Yeah.
With
Like,
so examples in for sweet things. We can have a fruit smoothie. So of course we can have
or a
the
banana.
full a whole
Yeah.
banana, but
Yeah.
if it's something fast and it is easier to drink something instead of
Chewing and
chewing.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's another small thing are dates or dried food.
I love dates.
That's because they have a lot of sugar, of course, good sugar because it is the one that is naturally in the dates.
Yeah.
So yeah, you eat them, and then your sugar in the blood goes high.
Yeah.
So then you can use that sugar already for the training.
The rehearsal. Yeah.
Yeah, and also some homemade cookies with fruits and oats. It's easy. Yeah, you can have a banana and mash the banana, and then with oats and go to the oven 10 minutes, and you have really good cookies.
Easy peasy.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and savory vegetable chips are really good and fast.
That you make yourself, hopefully.
You can make, but there are few in the here in Spain. I don't know in other countries, but we have good vegetable chips already in the supermarkets. Yeah, and carrots with a bit of cheese, maybe with not a really fat cheese because there are so many
What
cheese.
about parmesan? Like little parmesan cube?
Yeah, or cottage, cottage cheese.
Yeah.
And a little toast, it would be okay, but it's important no with wholemeal bread. Is that okay? Integral?
Sí, whole. Yeah, like with cereals, with seeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Not or yes?
Okay. Not.
Because it's harder to digest.
Yeah, it can be difficult to digest.
Yeah.
So it's better what we call white bread.
Yeah. In this situation, because normally they say the other one is healthy, but in this situation,
but during exercise, it's better white, not a whole, because it could be difficult to digest.
Yeah, it's ready to be used, the sugar. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's well. Usually, I like to have banana, chocolate. No,
it's okay. You had
and then
a bit in that moment.
Nuts as well. That it's probably like doesn't give me energy, but probably fills me up. And I'm going to try the vegetable chips. I want to try. I'm going to look for it in the supermarket. I don't know if I never looked for it, so I never saw them. Or
you can dry them in the oven, of course. But
and I definitely in the past made like cookies, like homemade cookies with oats and banana bread, and then like slice it, and yeah.
I tried that banana bread in Dresden.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I tried
I hope
yours.
you have a good memory, because I like to change recipes all the time.
Yeah,
So
we
sometimes
have a dinner in your room, in your house,
yeah.
and you made banana bread. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Cute. Yeah. Yes. Talking about snacks, is there? Well, I think we slightly introduced the topic, but is there a difference between pre-performance, pre-training snacks and post-training? So I think we already talked about before. So we need a high glycemic and glucose level. So what about post? So after training?
Yeah, there are only difference if you eat something right before.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a whole meal in like the breakfast or the brunch or something 2 hours before, it will be okay. A full food.
Yeah,
But
like a
if you
full
eat
toast
something
with,
right before, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
So if it's something right after, the same we were talking about before, it could be okay.
Yeah.
And if it's a main meal, protein, fats, and carbs all together, yeah.
So there is not a huge difference about
No.
before and after, for example.
No.
Okay, yeah, it just needs to be good food with a high nutritional level, and the only difference is just you feel you need energy in the coming minutes. That's the difference. Okay.
Yeah, it could be, but after it could be, for example, a whole grain cereal, as we were talking, because not the same as before. Before it doesn't have to be a whole grain, but after we can have a whole grain thing, because we will have the time, the enough time to digest that.
And to absorb all the nutrients. Cool. I learned something new here. I didn't know. Well, I think we already spoke a little bit about this, but for example, if you were advising a ballet dancer and the dancer had to do a performance, a full-length ballet like Swan Lake, which lasts like 3 hours, so Sleeping Beauty. Normally, I have lunch around 2, then I rest, I have my nap, or I do whatever I want to do, and then I have a snack like a merenda before going to the theater, 1 hour or 2 hours before the show. And if I miss that snack, then I keep snacking during the show and have dinner at 11. Is this kind of a good
it is.
meal plan? Yeah, because
of course, the first thing I'm going to recommend is, of course, something they are used to eating.
Yeah.
It is not time to experiment or to try something or go out with your mates and have a lunch in a restaurant, because
it's risky.
Yeah.
With the nerves, with adrenaline.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. I recommend for my athletes in a competition or when they have a match or something.
Yeah.
It's not time to try something you've seen on TikTok or
Yeah. So something that's familiar and that you like, and that
and you feel well after eating.
Yes. Oh,
that's the most important.
Yeah.
After that, we can have a few details, of course, because if you had that main meal close to the ballet, it will be perfect to be at least 2 hours before.
Like a big meal, like pasta and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. For example,
At least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours. Yeah. Because there's a main meal, so it has everything: fats, protein, carbs. So you will take a long time to digest.
Yeah.
As you said, at 2 p.m. is okay. Yeah. It's more than 2 hours, so it will be perfect. But it has to be a full meal, like with everything: carbs, of course, vegetables, proteins, and a bit of fat. The fat you need to cook. Here in Spain, we use a lot olive oil, but if you have some avocado, something like that, it would be perfect, because it will give you energy for a long time.
Yeah.
No, that sugar we were talking about is for right now, and the fat will bring you energy like those 2 hours later.
And the protein doesn't give energy, right? Or
They do, but it's a different energies. They
yeah.
have calories the same as so that calorie is like the energy they bring to your body, but it's not the thing that is running through your blood and
Gives you
goes
energy.
to your yeah.
That's carbs. Yeah.
That's
So
carbs.
now the complete question. So to tie everything together. So on a full day of dancing with
Mm-hmm.
class, then morning rehearsal, maybe a 45-minute lunch, because I know some people have 1 hour and some people have half an hour. So let's go in between. And then afternoon rehearsal of 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. So a day without a show. What would be a good idea of a meal plan, starting from
Mm-hmm.
breakfast, going to dinner, like a
Yeah.
complete?
If you like, well, we were talking about if you like to have a breakfast soon in the morning, like 1 hour before rehearsal, it could be something with bread, some cereals. For women, it's very important to have our fats complete during the day. We need fats for the hormones
Ah,
working.
hmm.
So that's something we forgot. We forget like we don't have the fat, so our hormones are kind of crazy.
So you say
So
for
for women,
women,
of
so
course
it's
for men
yeah,
too,
yeah,
but
yeah.
for women
It's
it's
advised even more because of
mm-hmm,
certain body
yeah, yeah.
functions.
That's when our
Ah,
period
yeah,
is crazy and yeah,
I
those
see.
hormones. So
Okay.
so
So are
the
nuts
breakfast would be a good time to have those fats.
are nuts fat? Yes, like peanut butter and
Yeah,
almonds and
yeah,
hazelnuts
avocado,
and
yeah,
avocado.
those, and also, how you call that, seeds?
Yeah, seeds like
Yeah,
sesame seeds
mm-hmm.
or flax
Yeah,
seeds
yeah.
or
Chia seeds
I am a
on
big fan of those.
on
Yes,
your yogurt,
I
maybe.
put
I
them
don't know.
everywhere,
Yeah.
but by
Mm-hmm.
coincidence, I didn't know that it was recommended for women. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is.
Interesting,
It
interesting.
is. Yeah, maybe that could be a good breakfast. But if you don't like to have breakfast, we could have those
Yeah,
during the day. It's
yeah.
not, but breakfast is a good time to have it.
Then we could
And
have a
then
cookie for a snack.
we will have yeah for snack we will have those high index glycemic foods during the rehearsals, and then we will have the main meal.
Yeah,
it,
lunch.
it depends on how yeah lunch. It depends on how many time you have.
Yeah,
It would be perfect to have carbs again, like potatoes, pasta, a bit of bread, rice. I don't know
yeah. I
all those
think
things, but maybe we don't have enough time to eat that whole meal of feeling good. So maybe carbs. It's better to have little, like little parts of carbs during the day, like
ah,
in every meal, a bit of carbs instead of one huge carbs in lunch.
yeah, I see.
So it depends on the person. That's why
Yeah.
it has to be adapted to everyone.
In Compagnia Nacional, they have just half an hour of
Mm-hmm.
lunch, so it's really
Yeah.
short time.
What are you
You
gonna eat in half an hour?
change your leotard because maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
sweaty, and then you go to the toilet to freshen up, and
Yeah,
then
that's right. I remember in Saint Petersburg, well, I was an apprentice. I didn't have that full schedule, so
yeah,
I had a lot of time.
yeah,
So
yeah. So it
I
was
could
good.
have this meal
In
with
Germany, the
pasta.
rule is 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Italy, we have 45, which is not bad because we have the canteen. So the
Mm-hmm.
food is already warm. In Germany, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you had to go to the microwave and warm it up. We also had a canteen in Germany, but I didn't eat there so much because it wasn't so.
No.
Um, So,
I
so of
didn't
my
like
taste,
that canteen. No, I
I
didn't
think the
like.
canteen was more oriented towards musicians and actors
Mm-hmm.
of the theater because it was very heavy. But in Italy now, in Milan, we have a big selection, so you find everything: white rice, types
Okay,
of pasta. You find the
that's
proteins as well. You find yogurt. You find everything. So
yeah.
depending on the day, on your
What what it,
schedule,
what it has to be. It has to
yeah,
be
fresh
like
vegetables,
this.
cooked
Yeah.
vegetables, fruit, a piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it is
everything.
the same. If you have a short time to have a lunch, pasta has to be not whole grain, and it's the same.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because if you don't have
So
time,
you can have that whole grain because it's the best
yeah,
at dinner.
yeah. And let's
So you
say,
will have the whole night to digest.
yeah, yeah. Let's say that you don't have an afternoon snack, but you have a snack after rehearsals. Then it can be something a little bit maybe more heavy. Let's say you finish around 5 and then you have dinner at 9 or 8.
Hmm.
Then in late afternoon, the snack can be something a little
Yeah,
bit more nutritionist.
a sandwich or a milkshake with everything,
Yeah, yeah,
fruit,
yeah,
peanut butter, oats,
yeah.
with all that things, and a
Cool.
sandwich with that whole grain bread in
Yeah.
that case, and with I don't know, cheese, vegetable, everything. Yeah, it will be perfect.
Is ice
Of course,
cream?
again, what?
Ice cream, un helado?
Of course.
Of course, why not?
In summer, yeah, I
Yeah,
do my own ice cream with yogurt and fruit,
nice,
and then
nice.
so I can have the flavor I like
Yeah,
in that moment. No,
yeah,
if you make your own, you can have whatever you like.
yeah, that's nice, that's fun. And
Hmm.
then for dinner, would you recommend having more proteins on the plate?
It depends on what have
Yeah,
you eaten during the day. If your carbs are okay and you're gonna have breakfast and you don't like to go to sleep with that whole meal,
very
you feel
heavy.
heavy. Yeah, you can have just protein and vegetables always, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you didn't take that whole carbs you need during the day,
yeah.
and of course, if you don't want to have breakfast, you have to have those carbs
So it
at
has to
dinner.
be kind of balanced, carbs and
Hmm.
protein. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about protein, like if you're vegan or vegetarian, what's a good substitute? What's a good solution uh, to
Yeah, that's
yeah
difficult.
yeah
That's
is it
difficult.
yeah
Of course, it's okay to be vegan, and you can have a whole nutrients and vitamins and everything. But it's
more
difficult, of
challenging
course. You
because
can have protein from tofu or those soya fruits. It's perfect, but the principal food is legumes.
yeah yeah like
Yeah,
lentils and
lentils,
beans,
chickpeas.
those are rich.
Yeah, those are the best, but it will make you feel very heavy if you eat those in the amount you need.
Mm,
Because I don't know how you feel after a whole chickpea meal.
yeah,
I feel heavy. I don't know
yeah,
what about
yeah,
you, and
yeah,
so it's difficult. We always have those protein supplements. It could be
yeah.
better
Mm-hmm.
because the same with tofu, we need to eat a lot
I am guessing from what you say that I'm not having enough protein because I am vegetarian. I mean, sometimes it happens that I eat some
Mhm.
small
So
amounts of
here,
meat.
yeah, so
It
here it is the same as carbs. If you are a vegan, maybe it's better to have protein in every single meal of the day,
okay,
so
yeah,
you don't have to do a full protein thing at lunch,
yeah,
so you feel heavy. So it's the
yeah,
same. Maybe it is
yeah.
better to have protein in 5 meals a day, for example.
Yeah, this is a good solution instead of like
Hmm.
filling up your plate with the mountains of chickpeas and then
Yeah,
feeling a little
yeah.
bit nauseous from
Hmm.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I had a phase where I was vegan and everything went well. My blood test
Hmm.
results were okay, but I was advised to get B12
Yeah.
vitamin because apparently
Yeah.
it's something that it's hard to get from?
No,
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Okay. Well,
because it's only in animal food, in
but
meat, fish, eggs.
cheese.
So
Oh, see. Okay,
cheese,
eggs.
but in a small amount.
Yeah.
So it is impossible.
So
It's
if you're vegan, get
a
your
mandatory
vitamin
supplement.
B12. Yeah. And then I had to take vitamin D because I was because of the
Germany.
sunshine. I was in Germany, and of course, for vitamin D, you always have to consult your doctor because it absorbs. Your body absorbs it apparently.
It is a free vitamin. We can have it for free from the sun, but
yes,
we all need to pay a supplement.
yes. No, right now I'm not. Likely. I don't need it. But at the time, my doctor said that for my bone density, for my health, I needed vitamin D. But now I'm good since many years. And then sometimes I took magnesium. But from a nutritionist point of view, what do you think are important supplements for athletes?
Also, if you're a vegan, omega-3, I don't know if that's the right way to say in English,
Perfect.
but omega-3. The thing is that this supplement is from fish oil, so a vegan cannot have it.
Yeah.
So they have like a different source of that oil, which maybe in your body transforms to omega-3, but not the full amount of. So it's another important supplement. And also, if you don't have that salmon, in Spain we call it bluefish. I don't know.
Yeah, pescado azul.
No.
Yeah, like
Pescado
sardines.
azul. It's like salmon, tuna, that kind of fish, which is which has this fish oil. You don't have it around 3 days a week. Maybe you will need that supplement. It is very important for your brain from inflammatory things in your body, and for what we were talking about, hormones in women and testosterone in men.
Do chia seeds and flaxseed have omega? Yeah. They do.
They do. When they talk about chia, they say it's a super food thing. Yeah, they are. But the amount you need is like...
It's like broccoli, the amount you need to get proteins or whatever, you need like 2 kilos or something. Okay.
That's why this supplement I recommend the most. Magnesium also because it helps muscles to recover and to sleep better.
But also, in theory, if you have like fruit and vegetables, you should be getting magnesium.
Yeah, in Spain and Italy, what we call Mediterranean diet, it should be enough.
It should be enough.
But maybe for that much activity we do, we need a bit more than normal
because
normal people.
We sweat it out and we use it. And,
So that's another one I recommend.
Yeah. So basically, omega-3 is one of the
because then we go to those sport supplements as a protein or isotonic drinks. Because if you can't reach the carbs, maybe an isotonic drinks can be easy to have, because you can have during rehearsals and also during Swan Lake, because it's a drink and you are being hydrated, and then you have the glucose too. So it's two things in one drink.
Yeah, in Germany it was very common to drink electrolytes.
That's for if you sweat a lot.
Yeah, in Italy I searched and it's very hard to find. In the pharmacy they told me that they had electrolytes in the form of sugar to gain weight. And it's not the same thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I asked the wrong thing. But in Germany, the physio would give us for these very hard pieces, like Swan Lake, or we had at the David some piece as well. So it was a powder, like magnesium, that it would just dissolve in the water. And it was good if you sweat a lot, especially in summer.
Electrolytes are made if you sweat a lot. And then there are drinks only with electrolytes. There are drinks with electrolytes and that glucose. So it depends on what you need in that moment. There are dancers who sweat a lot.
Yeah.
And if you are dancing, in Germany is different, no? The weather,
Yeah.
but the humidity of the place you're dancing.
Yeah. You have to take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I should be drinking a lot. So, talking about water, how do you know that you're not drinking enough or that you're drinking enough?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have here my huge bottle.
Yes.
Because it is difficult for me to drink. I have to keep thinking. Nice, nice.
I forget to drink.
I don't drink. Well, right now I force myself to drink because I was not drinking enough. So that's why I have my transparent bottle, so I can know
Oh.
how much am I drinking during the day. So
And
I
I
saw my
see
bottle
that.
and say, "Oh my God, I didn't drink."
Yeah. I
So
see
I
that
force myself.
you haven't
Yeah, because
drunk yet.
if I have this kind
Yeah.
of bottle, I don't know how much
Yeah.
or how many am I drinking. So I prefer transparent one.
And now they made so many waters like that motivate you also drinking. Keep
yeah,
going. Oh, they
with
even
sentence, yeah, like
I saw
keep
one
drinking.
with the times.
You're doing right. Yeah.
I saw one that they had like 12, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. So kind of to keep you on track. And how do you know if you don't drink enough?
Yeah, the easiest way to know is when you go to the bathroom in urine.
Yeah.
If it's very 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 yellow.
Yeah, that's
there. If you look for it in Google, you can have like a color thing that tells you this color is, and it works. It works, and that's what professionals check. So yeah, you have to check yourself, and if you have to see what you've done in the bathroom, that's the way you know, because you can you know they recommend 1.5 liter. Okay, you can have it, but then maybe for you it's not enough.
Yeah, maybe you are 1 meter 80 and you sweat a lot, or maybe you're really tiny and
so you
it's
have to
being
check,
cold outside. Yeah,
you have to check it in that way. And also we have food with water like fruits, but you have to check the
like
bathroom.
diet, you have to adjust it to your own
yeah, and you see, today I drank 1.5. I go to the bathroom, is this yellow. Okay, let's try with 2.
Yeah,
you have to be able to drink it. You don't have to feel again heavy just for drinking. And the best is drink a bit amount during the day, like constantly, not that full bottle in one
small
meal.
sips. Yes.
Yeah. And also you know when you are not going to drink water during Petit Allegro. Oh my God.
During jumps, yes, exactly.
Yeah, in between groups, because
or maybe if you drink a liter of water before a pas de deux that flips you upside down.
You turn, and
that's not a good idea. Then
so
you would feel
that's
sick.
why you have to check when and how many.
And also, once I heard, though I read in a book, I don't remember, that it's good not to like end up so thirsty before lunch. So to keep drinking during the day, like you said, so you don't end up also filling up your belly, like, before lunch, and then kind of, I don't know if it's correct, but diluting like the all the nutrients. If you drink a lot during lunch, then all the nutrients maybe are not absorbed as well. I don't know.
It's not that, because they absorb in different parts of the digestive system. I don't know. So it's more than if you fill your belly with water. There's no space for food. And you need food to get nutrients. And if you're only water inside your belly, where's the space for food? You need it.
So remember to drink.
That's the point. Yeah.
During the day. Yeah. So now also I wanted to talk a little bit about like when does an athlete know that doesn't eat enough? Like, what are some signs that you are not well nourished, that you don't get enough fuel? What could be some physical signs of, well, I guess like you said at the beginning, being tired and not having energy until the end of the week. And
and that's when injuries come.
Yes.
Yeah. it's delicate to talk about this, but we need to know. I mean, sometimes we don't eat enough because we don't know what is enough for us. So it's
Yes.
just because I think I eat well because I feel well, but maybe inside your body something is not working as it has to be. And sometimes it is because we don't want to eat that much. It's
Yeah.
two parts. We don't know or we don't want. So
Yes. Yes.
we have to check that first. And if you want to dance, I like to say it as much as Alicia Alonso did.
Oh, that's a very nice way to say it. Yeah, if you want to have a long-lasting career
Yeah, or
and be
maybe
healthy.
to enjoy dance and to be able to do a simple tandy when you are 80. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
You need to keep your body full of nutrients. It works. If you have those nutrients, you need it, and
yeah.
need to eat
Fully
what
nourished.
you need.
Yeah.
The amount
Would
of protein,
yeah,
and when you don't have it, your body starts to stop working.
yes. Like injuries, for example,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Injuries, of
bone-related
course.
injuries,
But,
bone-related injuries.
oh, of course, yeah. For example, women, when we don't eat as much as we need, our body stops the period, for
Yeah,
example. Because period is made for women to be perfect to be pregnant.
yeah,
So that's how it works. If you are not having that enough energy, your body feels like you're not gonna be able to reach a baby.
yeah. So it's a
So
big sign that tells your body you're strong, and if you want to, it's always your choice. You can have a baby.
so your body stops your period, and when you don't have your period, you are like in a I don't know the word. I think it's menopause.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Menopausia,
Which usually
menopause.
comes when you're like 50 or
Yeah,
60.
you're
Yeah,
yeah,
but you're
but
anticipating.
young women when they
Ah,
don't have period, they are like in a soon menopause. It's the same for your body.
yeah.
So
Is it
this
because your body is trying to save energy?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because it don't have your body doesn't have the energy to work during the day, so they have to stop
something.
some things working inside your body to tell you I don't have energy for doing this,
Yeah.
so I'm just keeping you alive. Let's stop period because it has we need a lot of energy for that, and we cannot do it right now with the
Actually,
food you are having.
I remember that the first time I was a professional dancer in Dresden and Proper,
Mhm.
I got asked by the physio if I had my period, and I was really shocked about the question because I
Mhm.
thought, why would they want to know this personal thing? But it was important for them to know and to know how my body was doing, and if what I had a little pain, if it was related maybe to something like that.
No, and
Yeah.
that happens. Menopause is known for high cholesterol and hypertension um, numbers
Yeah. Yeah.
and low density bone density.
Yeah.
Because
So bone
when women have
fractures.
menopause,
Yes.
there are those yogurts made for
Yeah.
menopause women.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just for you to know that it is related
Mm-hmm.
menopause with
Mm-hmm.
low density, and even a young girl not having the period, they are gonna have the same effects as a old woman having
It's the
menopause.
same biological
So
mechanism.
our
Yeah.
muscles don't have energy, so they can support our bones, so they have both injuries, the muscles and bones, because our articulations are not working as they have. Also, if you don't have enough water, those joints are not working
Yeah.
because they are not hydrated, and
Yeah.
we need that fluid inside our joints. So it's
This
bad
is when a
for us.
nutritionist can come to help and can support a dancer's or an athlete's diet.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that I heard many stories from different schools. I'm not mentioning a specific academy where I heard teachers saying to I heard stories mainly because in my school year it never happened, luckily, but I heard stories of teachers saying maybe 15 years old girls,
Yeah,
make
and
sure you lose two
they
kilos in 1 week.
yeah
And I,
they say like just like that, and then you have
yes,
to manage
how would a,
how to do it, because we don't have those professionals in schools, or so they only see us when they have a problem, to solve that problem, not to be
I see
something
what you
day a
mean.
day. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like a
you
psychologist.
mean people
They only go to the psychologist when they are
when they already
really
have the problem, or they go to the
yeah, yeah,
nutritionist when the problem
and
is already there.
yeah,
But
and I
what I'm
think we need that
shocked,
day a day.
yeah, what I'm shocked is how could a ballet teacher, which is an adult, so had experience before becoming a ballet teacher, can say to a
Hmm.
girl or a boy, a teenager, such
Yeah.
things where they have no knowledge on how to take care of themselves, and maybe these kids starve themselves and eat just Kinder chocolate bars and keep going like this, having
Mm.
completely bad
Yeah,
nutrition. And
yeah, and they tell to the little girl or boy, and then they don't have what to do. Maybe the family doesn't have the resources to help their little kid.
yeah, or
So
the
yeah,
knowledge.
that's when
So it
it
would
becomes
be,
a problem, and a mental health
yeah,
problem, and they already come to us when we don't really have nothing to do. It is late for us. We can help, of
yeah,
course, we can
you can
help, but
start a journey, but the problem is
yeah,
already there. Yeah,
hmm,
it would be great if there was some sort of support. So
yeah,
if
like
there
see us
were,
as a friend, yeah,
yeah, if
to help.
also like if the school recommended, oh, go and instead of saying you have to lose weight because you're too heavy, blah blah blah, even
Hmm.
though during growth it's normal for a kid to expand and then shrink, it's
Hmm.
hormones. But it would be great if schools could, instead of saying these affirmations like you have to lose 5 kilos in a week or whatever, in a month,
Yeah.
it would be great if they would be like, oh,
This is your to-do, you have to fit.
let's, yeah,
You
let's
have.
have a meal plan, let's be strong. And yeah, well,
Yeah,
but
that's
that's
the point. Let's be
unfortunately,
health. Let's be strong.
yeah,
Let's.
let's have energy and let's take care. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yes,
that's the point. I think I choose to work as a nutritionist for ballet dancer, but I think that's the point that it's making me difficult to like to fit in that public, because they see us like when they have a problem, not
yes,
something they need for every day.
yes, yeah, as a support, or yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be even great if they just did some introductory nutritionist
Hmm.
course
Yeah, like
in the schools.
I can go to school, so a nutritionist can go
Exactly.
to the company once a month. I don't know.
Exactly.
And today I'm gonna talk about water,
Yeah.
and 1 hour talking about water, and always in a positive way.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to finish on a lighter mood. So I just wanted to ask you like three silly little questions. So if
Hmm.
you had to eat one meal in for your entire
Oh
life,
my
which of
god.
course is never going to happen, but what would it be for you, like the perfect meal?
Yeah, if it was only one meal, maybe I'm not gonna choose the healthy one. Oh my god, the Spanish omelette. I could eat it like every day, every single time. My mom,
Yeah, your
Spanish
mom's
omelette, of
Spanish.
course.
It's not tortilla de patatas. It's
Sí,
la tortilla de
esa,
patatas. Ah,
esa.
okay.
Tortilla
Just
de patata, Spanish omelette is with eggs, potatoes, and olive oil and onion, or not. It
but
depends on how you like.
but
Oh
it's
my god, I
not
will.
so unhealthy. Like I mean, there is
It's
worse
not. No,
things.
it's not the worst. Of
It's
course,
not the
it's
worst.
just it's made with a lot of olive
Yeah,
oil,
yeah.
so the
Rich in
calories
fat.
are.
And then, what's your favorite Italian dish, if you have one?
Yeah, I went to Rome last year,
Yeah.
and every single day we had carbonara pasta.
Oh.
But just here in Spain, we made that the stupid carbonara pasta made with nata cream
See, the British do it
and,
as well.
and
No, but
bacon.
you
That's
don't need
not.
that.
Since me and my boyfriend went to Rome, we made that original carbonara at home.
Yeah,
with
And it
the
was
egg.
good.
So that's carbonara, of course.
Yeah. And then last, what is your comfort food? Like for me, I know that is chocolate or biscuits in the evening. Or when I feel like, having a very comfort food. But do you have like
of course.
a cheat?
Mm-hmm.
Or not a cheat, just a treat.
As a nutritionist, I have to say I don't like that word, but
Okay.
of course we all have we all have that cheat meal, of course, and chocolate. I love Kinder chocolate.
Kinder. Irene, I'm curious why you don't like that word, because
there's not some food that is how do you say forbidden?
Yeah, forbidden or completely bad. Yeah.
There's no completely, because you can have everything in the amount and in the frequency you have to have. It's okay. So sometimes when I do a diet for my people who's coming for me to
your clients or
to do the menu, they ask me, and where's my cheat meal? Well, I'm telling you what to do every day, most days. But of course, you can have, you can go out with your friends and have a burger or something. You just have to know the frequency or the amount of that burger is on your week. That's the only thing. So I have a chocolate just when I feel like it's a good moment to have it, and that's the moment. And I have my Nutella and I have well, here in Spain we have nocilla.
Sí. And you have also the two-colored one. I remember from summers, like the white and the brown, which we didn't have in Italy at the time. Maybe now we have. Because the rest of the diet, the rest of the meal plan shouldn't be seen as an obligation. It should be seen as nourishment, and almost you should enjoy it. So you shouldn't have this big difference of
the balance
diet and then so
because we when someone says diet, we change like our brain and we think about you are not eating, you're not allowed to eat everything. No, diet is just the routine of a person.
The meal plan.
When you look at when you look the meaning of diet, it's not something that someone told you not to eat. No.
I see.
But
I mean, this is a good psychological trick. Instead of maybe calling it diet because people connect it to something negative, then maybe a new meal plan or a nutritionist plan or whatever. Okay, I think we have it all. I mean, I don't know if you have some questions for me, but I thank you so much. I am sure someone will find this interesting. And like I said at the beginning, if you want a consultation with her, I'm going to leave the description below, and make sure you always talk to a professional if you don't do it yourself or with ChatGPT. I mean, you can also ask ChatGPT. Irene, thank you. Muchas gracias for your time, for your morning. I know you're very busy, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I am going to interrupt the recording now. Let's see. So bye, guys.
Bye.